Coming to you live from WZNG Shelbyville Studio B, it's the Coach Carkuff Show on the Zinger 100.9. You're about to get a deep dive on all things Cascade football with the Champions head coach, Jared Carkuff. Hosted by Cascade football analyst and Shelbyville Times-Gazette sports editor, Noah Maddox. The Coach Carkuff Show is sponsored by Clanton Pipe and Supply. Only on your radio home for Cascade High School athletics. The Zinger 100.9 and AM 1400.
Good evening and welcome into the Coach Carkuff Show live and in studio on the Zinger 100.9 and AM 1400. Thank you for choosing to spend an hour of your time tonight with us. We have a pretty good show this evening following the win against Community in the Battle of Bedford on homecoming. And then as we look forward to tomorrow night's matchup at Watertown, the longest road trip in the regular season for Cascade, tomorrow night on Friday. But first, from 5 to 6, the Coach Carkuff Show brought to you by C&J Wood Design, Echo Hills Excavating LLC, P3 Technology, and Clanton Pipe and Supply. I want to welcome in Coach Isaac Eubanks once again. Thank you for coming in.
Thanks for having us.
And as always, Coach Carkuff is here as well.
Thank you.
And I'm Noah Maddox, of course. Coach, congratulations on the first win.
Thank you.
Here at Cascade. I'm sure it was a blast. Yeah. I'll recap a little bit. 49-34 is the final score. You could argue was a little misleading in terms of how the game went, but you could also say it kind of evened out at the end as well.
Yeah, for sure. No.
Final total stats, at least, Christian Casey, pretty efficient through the air, 6 of 10, 134 yards with 3 touchdowns and a pick. And then on the ground, at least according to Huddle 35, carries 141 yards and 3 touchdowns there as well. And then Community, of course, that relentless air attack over 350, threw the ball over 40 times, but Cascade did force 3 interceptions, 2 of them by Delonte Clay. Coach Eubanks, do you want to just touch on, we talked about it last week a little bit, but the revelation he's kind of been on the back end.
He's there's a reason we put him back there. We told him, it's like, hey, you're playing this deep half right here, okay, especially when we're in certain defenses, we're middle of the field, and he goes up and gets the ball. The picture from the post.
That was cool.
I knew it was a crazy catch, the one down there right on the goal line, but the post got it where he was apexed. He went up and got that one, and he's kind of bent backwards too. Like it was a heck of a catch, and he made a heck of a play on both of those. So that was good to see. We did get 3 interceptions and a turnover on downs. So we met our touchdown. And a defensive touchdown. We were flying around Friday night, and that was fun to see.
Yeah, that second interception reminded me of Huntland, but a little bit more, it looked a little bit more credible than Huntland, maybe a little bit. On film, what did that look like? If you could break it down, at least the second one.
Delonte's second one, they were close right to the top of the red zone, 20-25, and it was, I think they had it was probably second and long. They're again really trying to push the field. Ended up, I think we got a post from the slot. He was playing opposite side, but his guy went under, so he's just kind of floating back, deep safety. Guy throws it over the middle, I guess doesn't see him, or thinking that he could get it over him, and he made a heck of a play on the ball, and then had a decent little return on that one.
Absolutely. Coach Carkuff, what did that first win, picking up that first win on Friday night, mean just as a little personal notch of, hey, we got the first one down?
Yeah, for sure. It was getting a little nervous. It's more just like a testament to the kids and how they're working, and we knew we were going to get one.
Yeah.
Eventually. But just them trusting me and, still just working with me and our coaching staff and just fighting through it. It was a battle. We told you last week on here, it was going to be a battle, and it was, and the kids knew that, and they fought through it, and the little things mattered a lot in that game, and we took care of those.
Absolutely. Some notes. The class of 2025, 4-0 against community in their careers. And then that game lasted over 3 hours.
Back to my baseball roots. It was brutal.
Yeah. One could place the blame on a couple different areas, but I guess, have y'all ever been a part of a high school football game that lasted 3 hours that wasn't on TV?
Yes.
You have?
I have.
I've never been in a TV game that lasted
Even
long.
a TV?
I've been. I will say that was the longest game of my career, and I've been on TV, and it hasn't been that long. But I have been a part of some 3-hour games that weren't on TV.
Shoot, no. I've been on ESPN, all that type of stuff, and no way. I've had baseball games way less than that.
I mean, you could tell just that it was going to reach that point. Even in the first half, it was
like 9 o'clock at halftime.
Yeah, just about. Well, so Caden Hill, he got hurt rather at the end of the first half. Update on him. It sounded like it wasn't.
He definitely could have gone back out for the second half on both sides, most likely. But with how we're going down right now, we wanted to make sure he was safe, and we felt comfortable with who was playing in a spot on both sides. So, and again, that's our mentality. We say it every week, next man up, and those kids stepped up. But yeah, update on him, he's fine. It was a kind of some scar tissue from a past surgery, and it might actually end up helping him out, getting it cut. I mean, getting it broken loose. So, no, he's practiced all week, and he's good.
Absolutely, that's great. He had 15 in the box score, had 15 carries for 79 yards and a first half touchdown as well, and it felt like he was really getting going until, especially when that. I mean, because I guess we can go into it now. That specific drive was at the very end of the first half, and it was off that Clay's first interception. And he was starting to really. He actually got hurt off a long run. It was I think 15, 16 yards to even get down near the inside the red zone.
Yeah, no, I mean, that was obviously our game plan, was to run the ball, and I mean, it's always supposed to be our game plan. Sometimes it doesn't work out, but we did an awesome job blocking up front, so we're like, hey, we're just going to feed Caden over and over again, and then spell him with some of the other backs. But like when you got a hot hand, you ride that hot hand, and he also won't let you take him out most of the time. So sometimes I really do try to, every few plays get somebody in just to make sure they're fresh, and he kind of wouldn't let us. So I will not take the blame. No, I'm just kidding. I was like, run it again. So it was awesome to see that he just, even though he's kind of hurting, he wanted the ball.
For sure. And Casey finished 6 of 10 for the game, but his first pass attempt I don't think wasn't until that touchdown pass to start the second quarter. So that's kind of just test. I mean, you guys were moving it on the ground, so I guess there's really no reason to force anything.
That's always a game plan. If it's working, stick to it.
Absolutely. We'll be back in 2 minutes right here on the Coach Carkuff Show, live on the Zinger 100.9.
P3 Technology, serving the IT needs of Bedford and surrounding counties for over 25 years, offering a wide range of technical services to satisfy your business network needs. P3 is your one-stop shop for IT.
That's right. Our technicians will work quickly to resolve your technical issues, specializing in customized network installations along with workstation maintenance. Call P3 today at 931-450-4210 or visit our website at www.p3tech.net.
P3 Technology,
where technology meets opportunity.
Modernize your kitchen with elegant cabinet designs from C&J Wood Design. See how your new cabinets will look in your new home with their unique 3D design technology, free with every project order. Now, with 2 locations, you can visit our new showroom on North Jackson and Tullahoma across from the movie theater, and in Shelbyville off Highway 41A near Old Columbia Road. So modernize your kitchen with beautiful cabinet designs from C&J Wood Design in Shelbyville and Tullahoma. C&J Wood Design, better by design.
Clanton Pipe and Supply, your corrugated plastic and metal culvert pipe supplier. Clanton has been selling pipe for over 30 years and carries all types and sizes of corrugated plastic and metal culvert pipe. Special orders and delivery are available. If you're in the market for heavy equipment, Clanton has you covered too. They have everything from skid steers, backhoes, and mini excavators. Clanton Pipe and Supply, 931-684-4847, 904 Madison Street, Shelbyville. Looking to build a shop or a house? You need high-quality excavation services. folks that care. Echo Hills Excavating, LLC. Excavating pads, ponds, driveways, septic, water, and more. Trey Barnes and the team at Echo Hills have the experience you deserve to go above and beyond, covering all of Middle Tennessee from Gallatin to Lynchburg and everywhere in between. Ready to dig deeper? Call 931-580-1168. Echo Hills Excavating, LLC. Digging deeper for your project's success.
Now back to the Coach Carkuff Show on the Zinger 100.9.
Welcome back to the Coach Carkuff Show, live on the Zinger 100.9, presented by C&J Wood Designs, Echo Hills Excavating, LLC, P3 Technology, and Clanton Pipe and Supply. Nomadic's still here with Coach Carkuff and Coach Eubanks, continuing to talk about community. So we can, I guess, start from the top a little bit. 7-0 at the first quarter. Defense came out and made some plays and held Community's offense. Coach Eubanks, when Community went under center, what was that a huge adjustment that you guys were expecting that they might showcase a couple times, or was this something that it's like, hey, we got to adjust on the fly? It
was. We knew that they would come out in something funky. We didn't know exactly what it was. Like, we prepared for a couple things, but that was new. But it wasn't. I wouldn't say it was new to us.
Sure.
Because we had almost seen it before, but it was from somebody else, and so we were able to adjust on the fly after. So the first play we didn't adjust very well, but then after that, right after, ball was set for that second play, I was just like, look, this is what we're doing. You're fine.
Yeah.
And then they were good after that.
Yeah.
We prepared for a lot of their heavy packages anyway, and yes, it's different, but we were ready for them to run some heavy packages, which is basically what it was.
For sure. They committed on the ground, 18 carries tallied, 18 carries for 64 yards. So the run defense was there when they did attempt to run, and Barnett is scrambling. How big of a factor was that in coming in, and how do you think that you guys played his legs when he did decide to scramble?
Yeah, we knew that he would if he got out of the pocket, he would pull it down and go, which I thought we saw it fairly decently in practice. Did a good job from our scout team quarterbacks that we have. They do a really good job of especially if get out of the pocket, pull it and go, and we do a really good job at that, trying to simulate that. And we did a good job on Friday night. As soon as he got out of the pocket, get him to the sideline, get him out. Let's just play another down.
Absolutely, and he was buying time in the backfield at times, and it was to his detriment for one play at least, with the pick six from Andrew Dow, which we'll get into momentarily. But other than that, you said that they're going to throw a lot coming in, and they decided to do that. But you guys were able to build enough of a cushion and go on, football. In basketball there's runs, but in football there's runs too. Go on a run of your own and kind of extend that lead. So 7-0 after the first quarter, and then that throw, the back shoulder to Delonte Clay for the second touchdown, and their first, the offense's Clay's first touchdown to make it 14-0. What was what did you see on that? It was 16 yards out, and then I guess utilizing Clay's ball skills on both sides of the ball.
Oh yeah, that's exactly what we talked about last week as well. It's just his natural ability to high point. So why not throw it to his strengths with a high pointed fade?
Right.
But yeah, the biggest thing, we just talked about, was our first pass play. Mm-hmm. So we're pounding it, and every now and then, in certain situations, there's a time you take a shot when it's a safe time to take a shot.
Yeah.
And I figured that was kind of the time to do it. And then if it didn't work, I was going to run it every play after that. But I knew that was kind of our time to do it, and it was kind of in our comfort zone. Like I said, Christian's doing an amazing job, getting better every week at quarterback.
Yeah.
But that was also like something that he was comfortable with throwing, that we work on all the time. Like I said, if you're going to load the box on us, we'll throw a fade in the red zone. Like that's kind of the typical numbers game that we play. And it was nice to see it executed. It's always fun, like the things you practice when it's executed. You're like, guys, that was cool. Like, this is the things that we can do if you just continue to grow.
For sure. And the throw from Casey is exactly where you want it as well.
Exactly where you teach it. I mean, Coach Linnell has worked with him over and over again, and just again the things that we practice when they come to like life and games is fun to watch.
For sure. Ensuing possession got them into a 3rd and long, and then their first big play of the game was an 80-yard touchdown to Charlie Haskins, who yardage totals had over 100 yards receiving, but in terms of touches was not as many as I guess.
It was probably less than 5.
It was less than 5. Yeah.
It was less than 5. He had two big catches. You know, the first one on their first score, second one on their second score. We got to a spot, where a DB thought that he was in position, started turning around looking for the ball, kind of got a step behind. And then once you get a step behind with Haskins' speed, as soon as he catches the ball, he was gone. I don't think we've really got anybody that could be, a step or two behind him, be able to catch him with him already going full speed.
For sure, yeah. He had put on some afterburners on there. And then, so what kind of talked about it, but his second touchdown that he had, what did you guys see on that one, and kind of how did it come about for community?
It was the same type of thing. Like we were in good position. DB turns around just a hair too early than we want him to, so he was about 2 steps behind on that one. Again, Barnett had a great ball. Yeah. Those long balls, those on the sideline, those are the lowest percentage balls that a quarterback can throw, and he was putting them on him on Friday night.
He was putting some perfect balls out there. Like you're saying, we're a step or two behind, but I feel like we're in really good position on all those, and it's like you try to time that jump. Yeah. And if it's a perfect ball, it's still hard.
Doesn't really matter when you turn around if it's a perfect ball.
I thought he did an amazing job at ball placement.
We couldn't do anything about perfect ball play, and both of those were absolutely beautiful, just dimes right to Haskins. There's not a lot of defenses out there that can guard a perfect ball.
Right.
And
then complimenting the deep sideline shots he showcased that he could throw over the middle as well. So he was just a sophomore. We talked about it last week that he's just sophomore, promising and everything. And then he has his moment, his highs and lows on Friday night. Talk about the short fields because community doesn't kick it deep, or didn't at least all game. And I think they don't kick extra points, and that's one thing because if you just don't have anybody that you can reliably rely upon for that, just go for 2. But for not basically they're onside kicking it every time. Yes, exactly. What does that do for y'all offensively?
We talked about it all week as far as just like that's all we practice. We practice a ton, onside kick, hands team, knowing that we would get the advantage from that. If we can make sure we get this ball back, whatever it takes. And so we kicked a ton of onside kicks.
We worked it every day.
Worked it a ton, and we knew. We said that would be our advantage of it's hard to defend a short field and that's as an offensive coach too, whenever you put your defense in a bad spot, that's stressful. So that's what they do. It's not like it was a different game plan. We knew they were going to do that. They know they're going to do that. They sell out to it. Obviously they would hope their percentages of recovering are way higher than zero, but realistically it usually is. But like I said, that was a big stress that we talked about, and the punt return game as far as Coach Eubanks placed them perfectly to where we were catching all of them. And that's something like film matters a lot, and the kids are starting to understand, like, whenever you put them in a certain spot and it goes there, and they're like, oh, this guy might know what he's talking about. Like I said, we're wrong plenty of times, but it is nice to
have your moments every now and then.
to work on that and for the kids to be successful because of the game plan. For
sure. It's got to be such a big boost just knowing that, hey, assuming we recover, which we worked on all week, and the percentages are already heavily in our favor, to respond, because it's after they score. So it's almost like they're presenting, hey, you guys make it a little easier for y'all to respond in a way. I just think that's interesting that, if it's at zero, maybe
it percentages, like
Mr. Analytics over here.
Yeah, you recover one onside kick, your percentage of winning goes up. I think it's like 30%. You recover two, and you're getting closer to 50, and then it just keeps going up from there. And so that's the game that they're trying to play, is that onside analytics stuff where you're getting possessions like that.
I remember more than a couple years ago at this point, but a few years ago, I mean, y'all probably know the high school that
Pulaski Academy out of Little Rock, Arkansas.
Yeah, out of Arkansas.
Then you got we played against them whenever I was at Lipscomb. We played against them, so that wasn't having a team on side.
Well, so he goes to Presbyterian College, and isn't successful, and we kind of knew it wasn't going to work out because the field position in college matters even more than high school. So he was, again, his percentages were higher than most people because they worked on it so much. But when we get to a college game, his average starting field position or whatever, and they were giving up like 40-something a game because of it. Like, a college team's going to score if you only
on
give
the plus
40,
side.
On the plus side. And like I said, it didn't work out for him at that level. But, when he was at Arkansas, which he had some pretty good players.
They were good. They were good.
I just remember that. I mean, I remember that he did go to Presbyterian. I didn't. After that, you get the first few games where it's like, oh, this guy that only onside kicked it in high school, his Presbyterian team didn't do that great, or did, or
they ran him out pretty quick.
And then
2 years.
Okay.
Like I said, he had some success, but it's not a thing that you can do in college, in my opinion.
Players are too good. Is that more the reason?
The game planning from the other coaches is different too. Like, they can figure that stuff out a little bit quicker than some.
Yeah, we were,
and they have more time. They're not teaching a class.
Right.
we were able to figure out, based on where the kicker was and where the ball was, what we were about to get every time. Like, we knew exactly what type of onside we were getting every single time by the way that the kicker lined up.
Okay.
So I think there was 2 we didn't recover that game, but one of them was a bad hop, like literally just bounced off our guy's chest and right to theirs, and then I think another one was just a scramble. But we ended up winning that game. But it's again, you get into college and you're sitting there and you've got a special teams coordinator that's just literally just sitting here on a computer going back and forth. All right, let's see what they do this time. And so they'll figure it out.
For sure. That just was a little aside because it did feel like that, community makes a run in the second half and then it's 28-20 and then, give Cascade less than 50 yards to go to the end zone, and then that's how it works. So you guys, going back to, it was 14-6, guys got near the red zone, community fourth down stop, and then I think it was very next play that Andrew Dow has a pick six. It was in the next sequence.
Yeah. So we throw the pick on fourth down. Like I said, probably a bad call, but also we'd like fourth down interceptions or whatever. Yeah. Like, we're not worried about it. And that's kind of what I told Christian, because it was out of a timeout. I was like it's fourth down, just
you gotta
try to make a play.
Yeah.
And looking back, I could have done something, which we actually go back to it later in the game and it works out. So it almost set it up on accident. I mean, I definitely planned that perfectly. That was a plan to throw an interception
and turn around
to set it up later. But no, like, that's the stuff that, like, the coaching staff saw, like, in the booth and stuff.
Sure.
They're like, well, hey, if we come back to that, this is probably what's going to happen. But yeah, that pick, and like I said, we're a little down because we could have gone 21-6 as an offense, and we're pretty mad for not executing there, and then immediately. It's like the defense. It's the same kids.
It's not like it's a different set of kids that goes out there.
The defense picked us up. It's like the same exact kids went out there.
Turned around and
just turned around and took care of it. But yeah, no, that's what we're looking for, is just picking each other up. Like, even if it is the same kids, it's like, dang, we just failed there. But it doesn't matter. Like, no matter what, you have to get back out there and go again.
For sure. It came off of Barnett scrambling around, which as a sophomore, you think that maybe at some point in his career that play probably ends in a throwaway with how long it lasted. But also Andrew made a great break on the ball.
Oh yeah, there was. So I will say that, like, even from the defense perspective, like, that wasn't a throwaway play. Like, he had two guys sitting over there on our sideline that were very open. They were very open. Andrew was the one that made a heck of a play. He was like sitting on the hash. And was able to break all the way across. As soon as Barnett got like back towards his side, and he finally turns and looks, is like, oh, there's two people over there, and then breaks on it, makes a play, and then gets a touchdown. I mean, it was one heck of a play.
Well, we talked about last week how safe Barnett plays too. Like, he doesn't force stuff, so he literally wasn't forcing that. The guy was open. Yeah, Dal just made an amazing play there. That was cool, because I got to be like right behind it, and I was kind of like, man, he's gonna basically complete the ball, and Dal comes out of nowhere, and I was going crazy. And I was like, dang, he's not going to score. Like, looking down, and then he just dives into that.
He does
that was awesome.
That college football 25 dive, played a little bit too much, and a little reach out, and it was great. I mean, from up top, it looked like he had no chance until the ball's, I don't know, 2 feet away. Like, he's there. Okay.
Yeah, that was cool.
It was a great play. It went up 21-6, and then Community responded. Isaac Jacobs, other number one for Community, the other receiver, a little out and up, and the speed again, and it was a well-placed ball again.
Great ball.
On the run, like, was that the one he got smoked on too?
No, that was the first one.
That was the first one.
The first one was when he got hit pretty good by Caden. But then the second one, he just laid it in there.
Yeah. It's great. Good route from Jacobs, and an even better throw. Then Delonte Clay comes up with that first interception of the game, his second of the year, on plus side of the field, with about 40 I had written down at 40 seconds left. It's less than a minute.
Close. It was close to that.
Yeah.
So that led to Marquise Hayes' touchdown to make it 28-12 going into the locker room. And that was with like 2 seconds left too. So how big of a momentum swing was that last 60 seconds of the first half?
That was huge. It's stuff we work on. I mean, we worked on it today, and it's what we do on Thursdays is situational. Like the clock's running. Like, I still had a timeout, so I could have, if we didn't get in, we were going to call a timeout. But being able to line up quick and understanding situations is huge, and that's what it's like. We've grown so much over these past few games of like being able to handle those situations and not panic, and like, hey guys, we have 10 seconds, but we can get 2 plays off.
Right.
Like, that's how that stuff works if you really work on it a lot. And that was fun to see. Like, I didn't even have to use the timeout because the kids were doing such an amazing job of getting on the ball and going, and just wanting to get in the end zone was, again, something we talked about last week.
Right.
Was like being more physical up front near the goal line is all it takes. Yeah. And it did. Like, every single one of our defensive linemen was in the end zone, and Marquise was just kind of walking in. It was cool.
Yeah, it was great, blocking, and that was all without Big Joe Bailey, who was missing the game against Community. So we'll talk about more. Get into the second half, and then talk about Watertown on the other side of this break right here on the Zinger 100.9. You're listening to the Coach Carkuff Show.
Modernize your kitchen with elegant cabinet designs from C&J Wood Design. See how your new cabinets will look in your new home with their unique 3D design technology, free with every project order. Now, with 2 locations, you can visit our new showroom on North Jackson and Tullahoma across from the movie theater, and in Shelbyville off Highway 41A near Old Columbia Road. So modernize your kitchen with beautiful cabinet designs from C&J Wood Design in Shelbyville and Tullahoma. C&J Wood Design. Better by design.
Looking to build a shop or a house? You need high-quality excavation services. Folks that care. Echo Hills Excavating, LLC. Excavating pads, ponds, driveways, septic, water, and more. Trey Barnes and the team at Echo Hills have the experience you deserve to go above and beyond. Covering all of Middle Tennessee from Gallatin to Lynchburg and everywhere in between. Ready to dig deeper? Call 931-580-1168. Echo Hills Excavating, LLC. Digging deeper for your project's success.
P3 Technology, serving the IT needs of Bedford and surrounding counties for over 25 years, offering a wide range of technical services to satisfy your business network needs. P3 is your one-stop shop for IT.
That's right. Our technicians will work quickly to resolve your technical issues, specializing in customized network installations along with workstation maintenance. Call P3 today at 931-450-4210 or visit our website at www.p3tech.net.
P3 Technology,
where technology meets opportunity.
Clanton Pipe and Supply, your corrugated plastic and metal culvert pipe supplier. Clanton has been selling pipe for over 30 years and carries all types and sizes of corrugated plastic and metal culvert pipe. Special orders and delivery are available. If you're in the market for heavy equipment, Clanton has you covered too. They have everything from skid steers, backhoes, and mini excavators. Clanton Pipe and Supply, 931-684-4847, 904 Madison Street, Shelbyville.
The Coach Carkuff Show is on the air.
Touchdown, Cascade!
Now back to the show.
Welcome back to the Coach Carkuff Show, live on the Zinger 100.9, presented by C&J Wood Design, Echo Hills Excavating, LLC, P3 Technology, and Clanton Pipe and Supply. Nomadics here with Coach Carkuff and Coach Eubanks. Cascade went to the halftime locker room against Community in their 15-point win on Friday night, up 28-12. Guys got the ball to start the second half. Community defensively forced I think it was a 3-and-out. Gets the ball and then cuts it to a one-score game, putting some game pressure on you guys to come out and make a play. But again, and we talked about it in the last segment, the onside kick kind of, knowing you won't have to go 70 yards to respond. I guess that psychologically for everybody, the whole team, that's a big break.
Well, it's just like when you create a turnover and you have a short field, that's momentum. I mean, it's the same concept. Even though they score, then you all of a sudden get momentum from having field position. It's like a big return too. Like if you get a good kick return, it's momentum. Like every time we get the ball in the 50, it's momentum. Yeah. So that's again why we preach on it so much. But that was fun to call an offense from the 50 all night. Like that, it's a lot less stressful going 50 yards instead of 80.
Sure.
Every single time.
Sure. Yeah. Then that immediately led to Christian finding Braxton on his first touch of the game down the side. It was like 43 yards down the sideline. Was it that?
Just a little quick screen. And then awesome blocking from the receivers out there. Landon Kling had a really good block, and then BB just did his thing. Braxton, did his thing and went. And he's kind of had ankle issues, so I was like, man, he's going to get caught. And I guess he's healthy now because he got there.
Well, the ball was in his hand, so his ankle wasn't feeling so bad.
It's been nice to see him fully healthy and being able to get him the ball. And like I said, I feel like that's what we're saying every week is like as soon as we get healthy, it's all kind of coming together a little bit. So
for sure. And just more, 4 games in now, that was the 4th game, just guys getting comfortable in everything that a new coaching staff is doing.
Yeah, and then we've made adjustments of what we do based on of who we got. And so, like, us learning them learning us, like, it's been fun.
Yeah. And then less than 30 seconds into the 4th quarter, did you mentioned it was second or third. It was 3rd and 20 was what I had written down. That's 3rd and 20, and Delonte comes up with his second interception. We already talked about how great that play was for Delonte Clay. Second of the game.
Shout out to the
season.
photographer from the Post.
Yeah.
I can't give credit right now, but I'm giving credit to the unnamed soul that took that picture because it was a heck of a picture.
I'll have to go check it out because I haven't
seen
it.
that? You need to look
so
at it.
I'll pull it up
awesome.
on break and see what it is. That guys capitalized on the turnovers. I think that was the biggest thing one of the biggest things from Friday, and did it here again. It led to 5-yard Christian Casey touchdown, and then defense just, as he said, momentum just playing on top of it and compounding with another stop, and then I think it was a fake screen and go for Braxton Burris on that last touchdown.
Yeah.
This one is 65 yards, so that's how you know that it wasn't after a community score. Seriously, it was a nice play and a nice throw from Christian.
No, it's one of those that it was so open that you get nervous.
Yeah.
And Christian didn't care. Like, I remember making those throws, and you're like, please don't miss, please don't miss, please don't miss. And you, like, underthrow it. Like, you still complete it, but you don't. Like, he didn't hit him perfectly in stride. And I'm not going to pretend like I can take credit for that play call. I was going to run it again. Again, I was like, I was in my, like, run the ball, like, mentality. And Coach Linnell was like, hey, this would be a perfect time for screen and go.
Good call.
And I was like, you're right. And I was like, I will take credit for it, but now I have to come back and give it to him. So
there you go.
I took it Friday. Now he'll have it now.
Yeah. Who I don't specifically remember who was on that side. I guess who was faked. Who was the receiver with them?
It would have been the Kling.
Was it Kling or Gooch?
Kling would have been out there. I think it was Kling. We faked it Kling. So it had been on his side. Because we've been throwing the screen to Braxton, so I was kind of nervous. I was like, I don't know if this will work because we're not faking it to Braxton.
Yeah.
And I didn't overthink it. I was like, well, maybe. And then they're like, shut up, just call it. Like, all right, okay, let's go. And then it works. So I stayed out of my own way there, but because like I said, I trust all the coaches around me, so it's fun whenever that happens, when you got the play call and flowing where other people are pitching in and it all works. It's a cool night. Sure.
Well, old machine had plenty of time, real time, to get everyone's input. The game lasted over 3 hours. Community tacked on 2 garbage time touchdowns after that, one with less than 2 minutes left, which that one specifically made it 49-34, and then immediately following, you have to take a walk of shame down the sideline for something that no one actually even did.
Yeah, that was frustrating because it was a special night, first win, and I was so excited to celebrate with the team and stuff, and like I even had my back turned when it happened because I was just like talking to kids, excited. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so early in the game, we get a sideline warning. I mean, we got the smallest sideline in the country. So that's obviously not a penalty, but a warning. And then on the big touchdown for BB, one of the ref runs into one of our coaches. And so that's our first penalty. And so we get a 15-yard penalty for that. Or no, he didn't score on that.
He didn't score on that one.
That's the one he got caught
at the 10.
At the 10. So we get a 15-yard penalty on that play. So that goes on me no matter what. Like I said, it was nobody's fault. It was just a tight sideline.
Yeah.
We ran into the ref on accident. Like, we got to make adjustments to how we do the sideline because like we can't let this keep happening.
Sure.
But like I said, I don't blame anybody for that. And then the last one, straight up misunderstanding. Like, we were trying to fire up our kids, and they thought somebody said something, and like I said, we were all so confused. Like, we were asking them, like, what is going on?
Yeah.
Like, that's why the conversation happened so long. It's like, what is going on? Like, please explain to us. And every time we like asked for them to explain it, it was not explained very well. And at this time, I'm already gone. Like, it's 2 penalties, even though they weren't on me. Like, they are on me because it's still our coaching staff.
Sure.
Because I mean, that's my reflection of me too. But they couldn't explain it, and then I started getting mad. So it probably looked bad from the stands because I was so frustrated. It's like, just explain it to us and I'll go. Like, that's all you got to do. Explain it to me. I'll walk out. I'll wait till after the game, then I'll come back. and they couldn't explain it to me. And finally, I get out there and I'm mad, stomping off, probably a little dramatic. I'm definitely not known
Bob
for being
Knight.
dramatic.
Yeah.
Nobody out there thinks I'm dramatic. That's for sure.
Yeah, no, I don't think anybody held that opinion of you before Friday night. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely not for my playing days either. I was not a drama king, but yeah, whatever. I put on a little show after because I was frustrated. But I was going to appeal it because I was like, there's no way, like, it's a $500 fine. It's a lot of money. I'm a teacher.
Yeah.
So we're going to appeal it, and instead, like at 7 a.m. on Saturday, TWSBA calls and like, hey, it was a mistake. We're not following through with this. Like, so it doesn't even go on record. I was like, but still, like, you made the one game last longer. Like, we needed that.
Right, yeah.
But I'm just glad that,
Trying
like,
to set records over here.
Yeah.
They're getting paid by the hour on Friday.
Yeah, shoot, I wish I was. We would extend games more than I'll throw it more if that happened. But no, I'm just glad it was cleared up. And like I said, if they would have kept it, we would have paid the fine and gone on. Like, I wouldn't have made it a big deal. But I'm glad that they, because, I mean, I'm the first one to tell you when I make mistakes. I say it on here all the time. Like, I probably should stop. People are probably like, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. But I'm always telling people when I make mistakes. So it was nice to see them be like, hey, we messed up. But also, like, hey, if you don't do those other things before, we never get in this situation. So, like, if we fix kind of our sideline, like where we need to be, we're going to paint the line a little bit further, even though we don't have a room for it. Like, we're going to figure out how to make sure that doesn't happen.
Take a fence down.
Take a fence down if we have to. Like, whatever we have to do to give us more space over there to actually, like, have room to roam and not get in trouble for
sure.
sideline warnings is
Preferred.
We'll figure it out.
Sure. We'll continue this wonderful conversation about tearing down fences in 2 minutes right here on the Zinger 100.9, the Coach Carkuff Show.
P3 Technology, serving the IT needs of Bedford and surrounding counties for over 25 years, offering a wide range of technical services to satisfy your business network needs. P3 is your one-stop shop for IT.
That's right. Our technicians will work quickly to resolve your technical issues, specializing in customized network installations along with workstation maintenance. Call P3 today at 931-450-4210 or visit our website at www.p3tech.net.
P3 Technology,
where technology meets opportunity.
Modernize your kitchen with elegant cabinet designs from C&J Wood Design. See how your new cabinets will look in your new home with their unique 3D design technology, free with every project order. Now, with 2 locations, you can visit our new showroom on North Jackson and Tullahoma across from the movie theater, and in Shelbyville off Highway 41A near Old Columbia Road. So modernize your kitchen with beautiful cabinet designs from C&J Wood Design in Shelbyville and Tullahoma. C&J Wood Design, better by design.
Clanton Pipe and Supply, your corrugated plastic and metal culvert pipe supplier. Clanton has been selling pipe for over 30 years and carries all types and sizes of corrugated plastic and metal culvert pipe. Special orders and delivery are available. If you're in the market for heavy equipment, Clanton has you covered too. They have everything from skid steers, backhoes, and mini excavators. Clanton Pipe and Supply, 931-684-4847, 904 Madison Street, Shelbyville. Looking to build a shop or a house? You need high-quality excavation services. Folks that care. Echo Hills Excavating, LLC. Excavating pads, ponds, driveways, septic, water, and more. Trey Barnes and the team at Echo Hills have the experience you deserve to go above and beyond, covering all of Middle Tennessee from Gallatin to Lynchburg and everywhere in between. Ready to dig deeper? Call 931-580-1168. Echo Hills Excavating, LLC. Digging deeper for your project's success.
You're listening to the Coach Carkuff Show on the home of the champions, the Zinger 100.9. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and X at the Zinger 100.9.
Welcome back to the Coach Carkuff Show, brought to you by C&J Wood Design, Echo Hills Excavating LLC, P3 Technology, and Clanton Pipe and Supply. I wonder if C&J could help out with some temporary wood fences.
Yeah, call us.
Excavating. Excavating. I think we'll have to dig some stuff
Echo
up.
Hills,
So,
yeah. There you go. Maybe see if they can collab and work on something for the sideline. Coach Carkuff Show live on the Zinger 100.9. We'll talk a little bit about Watertown coming up, since that is the opponent of tomorrow night on the road. The longest, again, we'll say this for the final time, the longest road trip of the regular season at Watertown, and that's about an hour, a little over an hour away from.
Yeah, hour 15 minutes is a heck of a lot better longest road trip than 6 hours like I've done 2 years ago.
Wow.
I was in Atlanta, so everything was like 20 minutes. Well, 2 miles, 30 minutes.
Yeah.
It was, so.
You could walk there faster than driving.
Yeah, our close games in Austin were 45 minutes away. So
Ours were all in the same county because it was so big, but it literally would take you like 30 minutes to get
there. Watertown tomorrow night, allegedly a new field, according to Brandon Crossland. So that is, we're taking that as truth. We'll have to live fact check that. Yeah, we'll find out tomorrow. We can fact check him there. Yeah, okay. We'll do that in the open. Brandon, you better hope that you were not wrong about the new stadium or field that they have. No, but Watertown's the Purple Tigers 0-4, 0-1 in region play, but 3 of their 4 losses by 1 score. They played at Chapel Hill week 1, lost by 6, lost by 7 the next week to Gordonsville, then lost by 5 to Sequatchie, which was their region game in week 3, and then last week lost by 18 at DeKalb, but very potent offense and a team that has been in just about every single game that they played so far.
Well, yeah, we kind of just talked about how their common opponents, or not common opponents, their opponents to start is combined 12-1. So that 0-4 is not a
little
true.
Bit misleading.
Oh, yeah, it's a little bit misleading because then watching on film, you're like, man, how's this team 0-4? And then you watch the other teams they're playing, and it's like, oh, okay, those are some legit teams. So yeah, we've preached it all week as far as like, hey, this is not your typical 0-4 team. Like, be ready to go. And I think we are. I think we're also going to get a really hungry Watertown because they're mad because they're playing so well and they're 0-4. Like, that's one of the most frustrating things in the world when you're playing so well and you just like can't get over that hump, because like half the time they're like in the fourth quarter is when they're losing that.
Yeah.
They're like right in the game or in the lead, and then all of a sudden they lose. So yes, they will be ready to go, especially at home. They're trying to break that. Like, they cannot start 0-5 because that town cares a lot about their football. So they're going to do everything they can not to start 0-5.
They have Lebanon next week, so that's obviously a huge game up there at home before. So it's you guys and then Lebanon, 2 non-region games technically before they get back into region play. Coach Eubanks, offensively, what kind of challenges do they present for your defense tomorrow night?
A lot. They're I will say probably the best quarterback we played so far this year.
And we played some legit.
And we played some good quarterbacks too
last week.
And I really think this is probably the best one we've seen. He can spin it. Anytime he gets out of the pocket, just like last week, he's not looking to run. He is looking to throw the ball. It looks like they run scramble drill every single day at practice, because as soon as he breaks pocket, you've got all 4 or 5 wide receivers running back towards the ball. And so, plays break down, they find open receivers because they're all coming back to the ball. So they do want to throw the ball. They want to push it downfield. They've got 2 really good, really fast guys on the outside, number 1, number 2, and they'll move them around too to try to get mismatches. And they've kind of got, kind of a slew of running backs where they don't, just have a true starter there. They're kind of running back by committee, and they do some good things up front where they're again playing a numbers game and they play fast too. Watching on film, not a lot. You could see, how fast somebody goes, but there are times where you're like, oh, it looks like that defense just literally stood up from the tackle, and that ball is set, and they are ready to go.
So what we used to always do, because we used to be super fast in South Carolina, and people who didn't know until they started watching the chain crew, and then you watch the chain crew, they're like sprinting.
Yeah.
And they're like, you can tell they're out of shape and stuff like
right.
that. And so like that's what we kind of picked up on a couple times. Like the chain crew is not even set, and they're trying to snap it. So you can kind of pick up on how fast they really want to go, which is always difficult. Like they don't line up in crazy formations because they're going so fast. Like that's kind of the goal. If you go fast enough, you can be in one formation. If you don't go fast enough, you need to kind of move around, shift, and that's kind of what our goal was, to be fast.
Right.
We weren't quite there because everybody's playing on the field all the time, so we switched to now motioning and doing all that type of stuff. But yeah, their offense is going to be good, and we got a great game plan for it. It comes down to like if the kids stay disciplined and like on those scramble drills, is sticking with your assignment, because it's frustrating when you do what you're supposed to do. You flush them out of the pocket, and then it breaks down because, I mean, a football play that's 6 seconds is hard.
Right.
And that's what, like I said, they're so good at. That's going to be a challenge for sure.
Blake Waldorf on Max, according to Max Preps, another sophomore quarterback. So congratulations for that. He's completed almost 70% of his passes averaging 285 yards a game, 10 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. They don't run the ball a ton, at least according to averaging less than 80 yards a game, but they do have some pretty talented receivers. With one guy that you're talking about, number one, Jesse Bratcher, over 130 yards receiving per game. So, what is the biggest keys to not only stopping them but at least slowing them down with the tempo they like to use?
Tempo, we really can't do anything. It's tempo. I wish we had the rules of college where offense makes substitution. We get our time to make substitution. We don't have that in our rules. NFHS doesn't do that, and they will rotate guys out, but we can't. Slow it down there.
They've got to get with the times there. Yeah.
So that's it's not going to be about trying to slow them down from a tempo standpoint. It's get lined up, get ready to play, and do what we've practiced all week. Like if we do that, we're going to give ourselves a chance.
Offensively it's a game that's played not just on the defensive side as well. So with you guys offensively, what kind of things other than, wanting to run the football, can you do to help out the defense? I mean, because like you said, it's majority of the same guys that are playing on both sides. So, but helping them kind of balance, between offense and defense against a team like Watertown.
Yeah, I've been on that side where I was that team like Watertown was going fast. So, I mean, 3 and outs for teams that go fast are huge, and then not feeling like you have to keep up with them, like just play your own game. Like, not that we're going to like slow it down a lot, but also be okay with keeping their offense off the field. And then like something we talk about all the time is offense is getting cold. Like it happens to us too. If we're off the field for a long time, even if you are playing both ways, like it's still like a rhythm you have to get in. So if we can keep them off the field, a lot of times those type of teams that want to go fast get frustrated. Again, I've been on that side. I'm like, all right, we got to go score. We haven't had the ball in a long time. And so you kind of end up forcing stuff where their offense is built around we go fast and take advantage of them not lining up. Now, if you are lined up, then you're game planning a little bit more and not relying on that tempo.
Sure.
It makes it a little bit more difficult. Again, like I've been over there. I've been the one that teams would slow it down on us, and then you're frustrated. It's like, all right, now we got to go score fast. And like you're you want to be that team. It's like we got to go Mike Leach and score in 3 plays. And it's like realistically, you don't have to do that. Yeah. And that's something I've learned since I got here is like I can slow down and be okay with it and be smart sometimes. be smarter about, and not arrogance is the wrong word, but like just not trying to push too hard and be like, I got to do this. Like right. I got to take care of offense, defense, and special teams, not just go score.
Absolutely. Final thoughts, wrap things up. Biggest keys for tomorrow. Come away with the win at Watertown.
I mean, it comes down to what we talk about every week is effort. I mean, the stuff we track, we talked about the missed tackles, the loafs. They're going down every week. Like we're getting better every week. And if we continue to do that and the kids are seeing that it's working, is just continue that and fly around. Like we talk about defense a lot because they set the tone. And we'll figure it out from there. But if we don't have that defense flying around, we can't set the tone.
For sure. Thank you, Coach Isaac Eubanks, coming in today. And as always, thank you, Coach Carkuff.
Yes, sir.
For Benny D on the ones and twos, I'm Noah Maddox signing off from the Coach Carkuff Coaches Show. Until next time, thank you so much for tuning in. Now, on the other side of the break, we'll get you to the Zinger Oldies Show with Benny D.
Modernize your kitchen with elegant cabinet designs from C&J Wood Design.